Kelly Clarkson claims that her children are keeping the dream alive of her reconciliation with Brandon Blackstock. The kids of Kelly Clarkson are hoping for a reconciliation between their parents. On a recent episode of Glennon Doyle's podcast We Can Do Hard Things, Clarkson, 41, made an appearance and discussed her divorce from ex-husband Brandon Blackstock. Doyle starts talking about staying in a relationship for her daughter by citing her book Untamed. So, you read this part of Untamed, where I had this moment where I realized I was staying in the relationship for my little girl, but would I want this relationship for my little girl? Says Doyle, 47. If not, why am I continuing to do this while calling it good mothering when it's actually horrible modeling? Which is difficult because, after having friends reach out to me 3 years after our separation, I read that and am confident that it applies to me. Clarkson continues, there are things you pick up on even as a kid that make you feel like this is unhealthy environment to live in. My mother said of her 2 marriages, Clarkson and Blackstock were married for over 7 years before getting divorced in 2020. They have 2 children together, River Rose, 8, and Remington Ramai Alexander, 7 years old. I just don't know if I can do this while still trying to do this, the author said after reading Doyle's book. It was one of those things where I read the tug of loving someone so deeply, and the tug of really needing to love yourself as much or more. Clarkson continues, it's intriguing because you wonder, oh man, I wonder how this is going to affect my kids, when you consider them. Because had also experienced divorce with his family and because I can still clearly recall how it affected me, the actress continues, I was like, nobody wants that. You try and try and try, but eventually you come to the conclusion that you don't want kids to grow up in this dysfunctional. But I'll be honest with you, people who are going through divorce or incredibly difficult relationships with children have come to me. It doesn't matter which way you go, your children will still struggle. 3 years later, I am still talking to, it doesn't matter if you stay or if you leave, the stronger singer admits. My kids just got back from visiting my ex, and whenever there's talk of him possibly dating someone else, they are just so adamant about holding on to the hope that we might still be together someday. Clarkson admits that the breakup of her relationship was difficult, saying, I don't know if it's better in the end, either way it's hard. Even yet, she claims that the difficulties have made her a better mother after. I'm a much better mother because you can be honest with others when you're honest with yourself, she said.